You and I, we make this beloved circle whole. So come and join in. We've been waiting for you. Let's begin in love and in openness to grow our faith, especially about being open to the possibilities of life and being surprised by that. So let's rise up in body or in spirit. And first, we're going to hear some scientific facts about these spirals we've been doing for worship. And then we ourselves are going to uncurl in a spiral from our toes to the sky in I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm aware, and I'm enthusiastic about life.
The spiral goes back to a time in history when humans were more connected to the earth, to the cycles and spirals of nature. Found at all levels between the macrocosm and the microcosm, from spiral galaxies to weather systems, to the water in your bathtub, to your DNA, to the direct experience of your own energy. The primordial spiral is not an idea, but rather that which makes all conditions and ideas possible. When you observe a plant growing in time-lapse video, you witness it dancing with the spiral of life.
So, in body or in spirit, in whatever way you can, here we go. We're going to uncurl as much as you can in a spiral shape going out, touching your feet. I'm alive, touching your heart. I'm awake, touching your mind. I'm aware, way up, enthusiastic, just like one of those plants. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware. I'm aware, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. A little bit faster, here we go. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, aware. I'm aware, awake, alive, awake, aware, enthusiastic. Good. And this time, nice and slow, meditative. Here we go. Just like those seeds opening up. Very good. And now Juliana's going to help us light our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. So for our caring awareness practice today, I wanted to share with you a surprise I had this week about a possibility I didn't imagine, and that was that somebody arrived in the creek. Here he is. Do you know what he is? It's a wood duck. It's so beautiful. And so for our caring awareness today, I'm going to invite us to do our meditation on #home, which is finding our way to this home. And in this home, it would be imagining that we are the wood duck's duckling. Are you ready? Okay. So first of all, we're going to be inside of the egg that's just been born. Okay. So get yourself in your egg, breathing in and breathing out. And we're in this place called home. And for the wood duckling, this place called home is a very, very surprising, amazing place. On the outside of your egg, your mother has picked some feathers from her own breast, and she has made a whole covering on the bottom underneath you. So let's just feel that we are safe in this egg, and that the egg is safe and warm because of the feathers of our mother. Breathing in and breathing out. And further down in this place that is the first home we have, we are actually inside of a tree over the water. Several feet from an opening, we are in a hole in an old, old tree. And that tree has roots that are stretching down into the earth. So let's breathe in that security, breathing in and breathing out. Very good. Now, in this place called home, we also have something else we need. And that is, besides our feathers growing strong, we have little claws on our webbed feet. So imagine you have these little claws, and they're growing inside as you're growing. Breathing in and breathing out, really being amazed and caring about this possibility and this capacity that nature has afforded you. All the resource you need. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, as you crack through that shell with yourself, whether it's your head or your beak or your hands, which are your webbed feet, you have a ways to go up inside the tree to be able to get out where the hole is to see the sky. And so I'm going to invite you to take some breaths and climb. Imagine you are climbing fearlessly up this side of the tree, inside the tree. You're climbing, and all of your siblings are around you. Breathing in. What a great thing. Breathing out. And as you reach the edge of the hole where your mother has laid you, you stand on the edge and you're hanging on. So let's just breathe in for a moment, because this month's worship theme is being at the water's edge. And so you're at this edge, and if you're a duckling who tends to be afraid of heights, or you're just afraid of the unknown, breathing in that you have courage, breathing out, and you also have many siblings with you behind you. And at one point, you decide to listen deeply to your mom's call, and you let go, and you float through the air, breathing in and just trusting in life, breathing out. And you land right in the water. Wake up! Whoa, that was quite a splash. Anyway, What a great place to begin life, and what a great place to be surprised by the possibility that you can continue to live. For our moment of inquiry today, I have a question, and that is, what surprised you about life around you? Like just this morning, was there something in the natural world or in yourself or in your family that took you by surprise? Well, I asked Clayton this question because I knew that he was taking care of quail chicks over break. And here's what he told me was a surprise to him that he didn't know before. Here he is.
Here we witness the Gualternix quail in its unnatural habitat. The most surprising feature of these particular quail chicks are their unusual eating habits. Instead of simply eating their food, they like to toss it out of the bowl and distribute it around their entire habitat. Here is a prime example of this phenomenon.
For our story today, I actually have two parts of biblical stories from the Bible that I wanted to share with you because they're very, very important at this particular time, this particular day, because of the holidays people are celebrating today. The first one is a scene from the story of Exodus, which is a story of how the Hebrew people were enslaved by the Egyptians, and the Pharaoh, even after plague after plague after plague, would not let them go. And Moses, who is a figure in the Bible, finally came to do this amazing thing that helped the people have their freedom. And here is the scene from this story. And Moses said to the people, "Don't be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians who you see today, you shall see again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall be freed, and you shall hold your peace." So the Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward, but lift up your rod and stretch it out your hand over the sea." And so what happened then was that Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. So the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians came chasing after them into the midst of the sea. Now, the Lord directed Moses to stretch his hand out again and close the waters over the Egyptian people. But the children of Israel had escaped already onto the dry ground and were free. And the second one is a scene from the Christian tradition, and it's the main story of the story of Easter, and that is that Jesus, who was kind and loving and generous, the military, the Pontius Pilate, the governor, and the soldiers, they all decided that he should be the one to be crucified. So they killed him and hung him on a tree. After Jesus was crucified, there came a rich man named Joseph who asked for the body of Jesus. When Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in clean linen cloth and laid it in his new tomb, which he had hewn out of rock, and rolled a large stone against the door of the tomb, and left. After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began to dawn, a couple of the women went to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great shaking, and the angel of the Lord had descended and came and rolled back the stone from the door and said to them, "Don't be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified, for he is not here. He is risen." So, in response to this story, I'm going to invite you to find something around in your house and surprise us with it. So, find an object in your home that represents a possibility that you did not imagine ever being able to happen, and somehow it was possible in your life. So, it could be the picture of something that you've shared with a family member, or it could be a special object that represents to you something pretty amazing, or it could be something from the natural world that is just inspiring to you or offers you some wisdom that you were not expecting. So bring it back here to the screen and we'll share them kind of like our common altar. We'll just put them out together and look at each other's screens. Okay, here we go. Well, the first thing that these two scenes remind me about is that we can be surprised by what's possible if we just continue to have courage and we continue to have faith that we might just be surprised by what is possible, especially if we're with other people who have faith and courage. The second thing for me is that direct experience of mystery and wonder that we celebrate as a source in Unitarian Universalism, that direct experience of mystery, of the unknown, and of wonder, of staying open to possibilities, those things really do renew our spirit. Definitely both really good stories too about our culture, and that whatever we struggle in, whether that's with our schools or whether it's in our community or in our family, that we can continue to look for, to listen for, to feel out, to sense these possibilities that can surprise us, right? To have that receptive heart to life coming forward. Speaking of which, my family had a child this week. Not me, of course, but my niece, Kaylee. She had a child, and they named the child Olivier. It was the day before Transgender Visibility Day, which was Wednesday. And so I was thinking about this beautiful baby. There's so much mystery there of what we do not know, right? We do not know the gender of the child, right? The doctors would have decided that the child was male, female, or intersex when the child was born. But the gender is something that will be a mystery. It will be unfolding as that child discerns kind of how they are in their own body. So I'm lifting that up today as a witness. So for our responsive affirmation today, as our closing, I wanted to share some words with you from Sophia Lyon-Fahs. If you don't know Sophia Lyon-Fahs, here's a picture of her. She's someone very special to me because she was a person like me as a religious educator who lived at a time when kids were being taught, you need to learn this and you need to learn that and you need to learn this in religious education. And one of the things she did was she opened herself to the possibility of other ways of teaching RE, to more experience and opening to the wisdom of science and opening to all kinds of things that might enrich what we know both about ourselves and other people, other cultures, and the entire world.
Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. The bright beams of morning
wonder of this life.
Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. The bright beams of morning are warm.
The wonder of this moment.
Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. The bright beams of morning are warm.
The wonder of being together.
Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. Fling wide the windows, oh my soul, oh my soul. The bright beams of morning are warm.
Great, giant, big love from church today. So much love for you and for the hope that all of us can share in this liberation with these possibilities that life may allow that we can't even imagine yet. But we can continue to be surprised by the small ways that it keeps showing up for us. And make those things happen. So we'll see you next time. Enjoy the day. Bye for now.